In 2009, Cuba's government arrested a Maryland man who was working there for the U.S. State Department. His wife is now putting renewed pressure on Washington to get him out, and this week she got a boost from 3 senators. Judy is here in our studio, and Maryland Senator Ben Cardin joins us from Baltimore. Good morning. Nice to have both of you with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judy, I want to begin with you because it's been 3 years since your husband was imprisoned. Did you ever expect it to last this long?
No, absolutely not.
What did you think when this first started?
Actually, when it first started, I went to one of the men who he worked with at the consulting company, and he joked with me and said, I thought if anything ever happened to Alan, we told him he'd only be there 3 days. So it's been a long 3 days.
Yeah. How often do you actually get to be in touch with him?
Luckily, we're able to speak weekly.
You are?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And how long are those conversations typically?
They've been fairly long. They've never cut us off.
What do you talk about in those conversations? And is there a sense that there are things that are off limits?
Well, we know we're being recorded. So yes, there are things that are off limits. If we know that we're doing or holding some activities, I don't talk about it. But we mostly speak about what we're doing to get him out, because you have to give him hope. You have to give him something to feel good about. And so that's what most of the conversations are. It's giving him hope that, yes, we're working as hard as we can, and telling him what senators or whoever has been involved. He also asks about our children.
Do you think he's being held as a pawn? Because Cuba has come out and said, yes, we'll release him if the United States releases 5 Cubans that it has in custody.
You know, I hate to hear the terms in one sentence, because Alan is not a spy. The Cuban 5 is totally different. So what we're hoping is for the 2 governments to get together and negotiate. If one government says only the 5, that doesn't mean that they can't still sit down and try and talk again and again and try until they reach something.
Senator Cardin, what sort of progress do you see being made here, and do you think he's being held as a pawn?
Well, it's clear that he should not be held. What he was doing was helping a small Jewish community gain access to the internet. He did it very openly. It took over a year for Cuba to have a trial. He should be released, period, the end. He should be released because he never should have been detained. He should be released on a humanitarian basis. And what Cuba is doing is hurting their relationship with the United States. So we're making it clear, those of us in the past who have been trying to get a closer relationship with Cuba, release Alan Gross. You've got to do it.
Do you think the United States will come to a point where they'd be willing to release the 5 Cubans in custody here in exchange for him?
Well, I don't think that's, as Judy said, they're totally different cases. What Cuba has to do is release Alan Gross. By releasing Alan Gross, those of us who've worked to try to improve the relationship between Cuba and the United States, we're able to do that. With Alan Gross in prison, that's going to be extremely difficult.
Why is this so difficult with Cuba? I mean, we've negotiated the release of people from North Korea, from Iran, where the perception is it would be a lot more difficult.
I'm at a loss. I don't understand why Cuba is still detaining him. Our delegation has engaged everyone from the Pope to other countries to make it clear to Cuba there's no reason to keep Alan Gross.
What more, Senator, can the U.S. actually do here, and what more is it actually doing? I mean, are there contacts with the Cubans at this point? Is there actually even a conversation?
Well, we do have conversations with the Cubans. They do have representatives that are in this country. So we do communicate. We do talk about it. The administration has been visited by us to make it clear that this needs to be a high priority. We got to get Alan Gross back.
Judy and Senator Ben Cardin, thank you.